What's going on, everyone? In today's video, we're going to try a tenderizing experiment. What we're going to be using is some sour cream and some salt. I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's get started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We have our two test experiment steaks. This is one of my favorite cuts. This is a bottom chuck roast. It's not known to be the most tender, so that's why we're using this as our experiment steaks, but you see there's a decent amount of marbling through it, and it's got a lot of great flavor into it. And so this is what we're gonna do. So you see they're fairly thick, a little thicker than what we would want to cook with. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna cut them both in half, and then we're gonna go from there to see what we want to use with the sour cream and salt. So there's number one, number two. Nope. Okay, so here we are. We have our four steaks here. These two are from one cut, these two are from the other. Now the only issue is that they're going to be a little difference in how thick they are. So I'm going to use this thicker one here. That's number one. And I'll use this guy. This will be our second one. All right, now that we got our two steaks that we want to use, and unfortunately it's not going to be the most perfect exercise because this one's a little bit thicker than this one, and I have used salt before. I have never used sour cream. So what we'll do is we'll use the sour cream on the thicker one to see if that really breaks it down. What we're using is the lactic acid in the sour cream to break it down, and then the salt is going to break down the fibers in here as well to make that a little thinner. So I'll start with the salt. So when you do this with the salt, you want to really load it on, so it's totally covering it in both sides. Okay, so soak up kind of all that moisture, bring it to the top there. So that's number one. Get a good pat down so it kind of soaks it all in. The one thing I have not mastered yet is flipping it over without losing it all. So let's use some of that. And I use this large coarse salt to do it because I found that when I did it with just normal table salt or sea salt or something, fine salt, it took a lot more of it. So there is our salt one. Okay, now time for the sour cream. I've never tried this one before, so I'm very interested to see how it's going to work. I'm not using any fancy sour cream or anything like that. I guess I probably should use maybe a little different one. Let's see. I'm just gonna, yep, there we go. Good. So I'm gonna just try my best to cover every part of this steak with it. Let it really, that acid and that sour cream really get into every part of it. Using my little baby spatula here to get in, so I don't get my hands absolutely filthy, but that is what it is. Having a little salt touch it, that's not gonna hurt anyone. I'm not seasoning this one before, as you can see. It's just gonna be the sour cream. So that's one side and down. We are just about done with the sour cream. So here we go. Here are our two completed steaks. sour cream and salt. They have already been sitting out for a while now to try to get to room temperature. So I'm not going to put them in the fridge to sit, but generally the rule of thumb is to let them sit out for, or with the salt at least, let it sit on there for at least an hour per every inch, and it's about an inch, so we're going to wait just about an hour. Then we'll go ahead, wash these off, and throw them in the air fryer. So time to wait.
1 hour later.
Here's our finished product, or almost finished product. It's been an hour, done washing it off. This is the salt, and this is the sour cream, and you can see the difference, obviously, of the color. This is a little bit, I don't know, it's almost made it white tint. This one is very, very red, but just the feel of it is so much different. I mean, this one is so much more tender. It feels like it's about to literally fall apart in my fingers, versus this one actually almost feels a little bit more firm. Actually, yeah, you know what? I just felt the normal ones. Actually, let me go grab our control. So here are our control steaks. So you see the difference of all three of these colors, and I mean, these feel about the same actually, but this one, the sour cream one, is so much different. So I'm gonna pat these guys dry, warm up the air fryer, and then I'm excited to cook. Let's do it. And to keep it nice and consistent, I'm not going to be salting this one, because if you've ever done this before, this one is already salty. I made that mistake and salted it in the past. This one I'm just gonna salt some of my sea salt. Let's get to it. Ooh-wee! Am I excited for this. These smell amazing. They look amazing. As you can see, I'm so excited to dig in. I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten all day. So here we go. We have our control, so just our normal steak. Then we have our salted steak, and then we have our sour cream steak. And I tell you what, the entire process, this one just felt like it was gonna fall apart in my hand. So I'm so excited to give it a try. I've had this one before, obviously, so I'm going to start with that. I've had the salt one as well, but it's something to test. So here we go. Here is our control. I do eat these steaks a lot, this type of steak, these chucks, so I know what to expect with this one. Just as always, good, flavorful. I cooked that one a little bit more than I wish I would have, but it is what it is, right? Okay, so now we have our base. That's a general steak. I didn't do anything to it. Now we have our salt one. Cheers. I didn't salt this at all after the fact. They're good. It is good. As I said, I didn't salt it after the fact once I wash all the salt off, because a lot of the salt that you put on, need a toothpick. A lot of salt you put on to tenderize it gets into it, so you don't need it all. It's pretty salty, as you would assume, but it's definitely more tender than this guy. So now we have the one I'm excited for. Just getting in there. I've never had this one before. Ooh, oh my gosh. Like, just put my fork into it and I barely have to cut it. That's damn good. Like, wow. That's epic. It is so much more tender, like day and night difference. This one, the control versus salted one, there's definitely a difference between that. But then from the salted one to the sour cream, there's a massive difference. I'm taking another bite. Sorry. Oh yeah, like day and night difference. And I don't really taste any sort of difference besides the tenderness. That sour cream taste, I don't taste any sourness or any of the, obviously the sour cream. I don't taste anything like that in it. I'm gonna double check again with the salt. And actually, no, let me double check with the one that doesn't have as much salt. Yeah, I mean, there might be just a little bit of a difference of a taste, but not much. The majority of the difference is in the tenderness. I mean, like, it is like almost filet mignon tenderness. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna keep going. So there you have it. Sour cream. Put it on a steak if you want to make it super tender, even more than just the salt trick. Give it a shot. I mean, these ones kind of come out tender sometimes they don't. This one is for sure. Try it with like a London broil or something, see if you can really tenderize that. So I'm gonna go enjoy this. Give it a shot if you liked it. If you liked this video, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you want more of this. Leave me a comment below if you want me to try any sort of other experiments. I love doing this. This is so much fun, especially when you got all these steaks. How could you complain about it, right? So I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, I'll see you later. It's so good.